It's 3 hours from
No.
now.
Oh, Jay McGraw, your
My
boyfriend
brother.
is.
I love him. I had his daddy on the show.
I know he's calling me now. He's
His
calling me a
daddy
couple
was
times.
dropping science. His daddy. His dad's a fucking genius. Dr. Phil.
Yep.
He's a great guy. Like, people who don't know Dr. Phil, he's a fucking great guy.
You know, it's he sent me a text the other day, and he goes, "I've got this idea. You're gonna think it's crazy." And so we meet at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I play a lot of golf with Doc, and I know him well, and I have for 10 years or whatever.
Who's Doc?
Dr. Phil.
Oh.
And yeah, you remember who we're talking about?
Yeah, but he said Doc. I never called him Doc. I call him Phil.
Oh, I call him Doc. So,
Jay's dad.
Yeah, so
Hi, Jay's dad. Can Jay come out and play? That's what I say.
So he goes, all right, here's what we should do. We should do a 2-man show. And I know he's out of production, and I know he's bored.
Yeah.
And he's also hurt. So he's had that motorcycle wreck, and, you know.
He's got new shoulder surgery.
Right.
Brand new one.
So he's like, he really can't play golf, and I know he's just bored. And so he really, and I would do anything Dr. Phil wanted to do, you know, because I love spending time with him, and anything he does is a big success anyway. So I would do it, but here was his idea.
Okay.
It's a 2-man show on Broadway, right? And he goes, and then, you know, I'm not sure how it starts. And I'm like, okay, it would probably start where the curtain opens and you and I are standing there because it's a 2-man show on Broadway. That's probably how it starts. And he goes, and then we could do a Q&A. And I'm like, no, we'd have to do something before the Q&A, Doc, right? Because we've done that before, and it's hilarious, right? Just as close as we are, I mean, where we're born and our circumstances in life. And he's completely undimensionally fucking beyond me as far as any kind of success that anybody's ever had. But we both came from nothing in the same part of the world, and so we have this connection that people have a hard time understanding. You know, I can't believe you and Dr. Phil are literally. We tell people we love each other, and that's, I mean, and to give you a good example of that, he took me diving. We flew in his Gulfstream to the Cayman Islands, and I didn't even have a certificate or anything, but I'd had one, and it was just expired. And so we went on this dive, and he watched me like I was 4 years old the whole time we were underwater. And if I got close to something I shouldn't touch, you know, he's like, so I know he loves me, right? I know he loves me, and so, but he really didn't have an idea. But I just knew that I knew that he was bored and he wanted to have lunch and talk about something. I'm like, let's talk about it, because I would do anything. I would love to figure out something to do with him that makes sense, because we come off really fun together in a juxtaposition situation, right? And our views, even though we come from a similar background, how different the views are in some ways and how similar they are in some ways. So it's fun stuff.
No,
we should do your podcast together.
I would love it.
Yeah, has Doc done it?
Yeah, he just did it. He just did it like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that.
That's
I knew
right.
that. He told me.
No, he's exceptional. Love that guy. He's a fucking easygoing guy too. Really easy to be around.
Right.
You know, like comfortable in his own skin. So, you know, there's a reason why he's so successful.
Right.
It's not like anybody could do that. Like, look at that Dr. Oz guy. That Dr. Oz guy. I watched him and I was like, I don't know. I don't know, Doc.
Well, you know, he does 3 unscripted hours a day.
All day. And he does a podcast now.
And I did his podcast.
Crazy.
Because also during that lunch, he said, I also have a podcast, and I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to do a few people before I do you, just get used to it, and then I'll have you come on. I'm like, well, for sure I'll do that.
How funny is that? He thinks he needs to get used to it.
Oh, right. Yeah, he does unscripted television
all day long
with a camera in his face all day long. Well, it turns out he didn't need to get used to it. He was great at it from the very beginning.
Of course he was. Yeah, that's the same exact skill. He talks to people. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to listen. That's the.
He does.
Yeah, that's like what is missing
Yep.
in a lot of people when it comes to doing this.
I was playing golf with him one time when I was going through a divorce, and people ask me, does he give unsolicited advice? And I'm like, he doesn't give solicited advice, even if you ask. So I'm playing golf with him, and I'm like, Doc, this divorce is killing me. It's just killing me. And he goes, keep your head still when you putt. That's what he said. And I'm like, what? He goes, keep your head still when you putt. You're in a better mood when you putt well, but you're moving your head all over the place. So why don't we start with keep your head still when you putt, which now is a metaphor for a lot of things to me, is keep your head still when you putt. You know, do what you do well. You know, it's what makes you feel better, whatever, you know. But in that particular case, those were really simple words, and I know they were right off the cuff, and I've thought about them all the time since. You keep your head still when you putt.
That's solid advice.
Yeah, right. So it's a little be more centered. Be you know
be in the zone.
I'm not.
If you're playing pool, keep your head down when you shoot.
Right. Keep your head down when you shoot.
Don't jump up on the shot.
Right. And that was
follow through.
But you wouldn't exactly call it advice, but it was something I listened to and continue to think about to this fucking day.
It is advice because if you're really good at golf in that respect, if you know how to not move your head, like that's a discipline where you can apply that to the rest of your life.
Right.
If you're loose and you're not thinking and you're fucked up and you're not using good technique, your head's going to be all over the place.
Right.
Same thing with pool. Stay down on your shot.
Right.